we acknowledge people in different phases of ministry and areas. And I find that those who take worship, praise, and choir ministry or music ministry as a calling, they are there night and day, in season and out of season. Those who came to see will come and go. Those who come to serve will stay. Are you hearing what I'm saying? In your case, you have come to serve and not to come and see. And in serving God, you see his hand in action. I encourage you to be steadfast in the love of God. Be steadfast in the call of God. He who had called you is faithful. Faithful is he that called you. He will do it. Is anybody hearing what I'm saying? Faithful is he. You say, I've been singing in this ministry 10 years now, 15 years, 7 years, 5 years. You are not wasting time. You are singing because God needs your voice. The people in the cemetery, grave, don't sing. Is anybody hearing what I'm saying? I want to establish a foundation before I speak briefly tonight and go. Those of you who are committed, keep your commitment, because the God you are committed to is a rewarding God and very faithful. He is very, 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 very faithful. The next thing I like to say will be this. In every ministry, universally, I just give you 2 examples. Beverly Shea, I've been singing for Billy Graham now 51 years. And Cliff Barrows, I've been introducing Billy Graham 51 years. These 2 men have been asked severally, when are you starting your own? You've been introducing one man for 40 years, 45 years. When will you start your ministry? And I heard Cliff Barrow once say, I've never had an honor in my life than the one I have to introduce Dr. Graham. He said, why invent a new wheel if I can flow with the existing one? Are you hearing what I'm saying? There's a woman in Tulsa, Ruth Brooks. Ruth Brooks. She's been secretary to Oral Roberts for 49 years. Secretary. When Oral Roberts said, good morning, write a letter to Professor Idahosa. In 5 minutes, that letter will be on his table. Everything Ora is thinking, just anything he's thinking to tell me, that woman will put it in writing and he will send. Nothing to add. She lives inside him by the revelation of God. She's married, I think, with 3 children. And the first child is about 47 or 46. She's older than Richard Robert, who is now the president of the university. And if you offend anybody in that ministry, if you offend that woman, you are finished. Now, you can't tell me that you can be a man's secretary for 49 years without the man offending you. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Did you hear what I'm saying? But you are so committed to God through that man that you have no way else to go, not because you have no choice. I wish I can speak English. You are not looking for elsewhere, because one way is right, because one way is God. If you are a person committed to anything with divided mind, you never last. And when you think, maybe if I live here to another ministry, to another job, to another place, is where my blessing is going to come, maybe. But for me who know God, the step of a righteous person is ordered by God. I have preached using 2 lives since yesterday. The first man I preached with was Moses. How many of you were here when I preached about Moses yesterday? What did Moses do? You were here? Moses had a rod. You think that rod was good? Do you have your own rod now? You think your rod is good? Now God said to Moses, stretch forth your hand. Is that hand good? Do you have a hand? Have you started to stretch it? Yes.